Hi friends, it's Mr. Matt here, and welcome to the Science Station. Now, we are exploring the story of Noah and the Ark, and there are all kinds of ways that we can hear the story and learn the story. But today, I thought we'd use a little bit of science to think about the story a little bit. So there'll be a few things that you'll need to have in order to do this wherever you are. The first is you're going to need a tub. And you're going to need, as you can maybe see there in the shadows, it's going to need to have some water in it. Now, it can be any sort of plastic tub that you put this in, or you can even do this in your bathtub if you like. Just be sure to know that your parents or a family member knows that you're doing it in the tub. So we have this. We're going to need some sheets of aluminum foil cut into a square. And then you're going to need something like dried beans, or you could use unpopped popcorn kernels, or you could even use coins. But you need to have sort of a handful of them for everyone who's participating. All right, that's all you're going to need to have on hand. So let me show you what you're going to do. You're going to take your piece of foil, and I need you to use your imagination. And I want you to think about how you could turn this piece of foil into a foil boat. Now, there are all kinds of ways that you can do that. I've made two as an example for you just to see. The first one, I took it and I turned it into this sort of, we'll call it a canoe shape. And so I made this canoe boat. That's one way you could do it. Another way you could do it is to just make a flat-bottomed boat. Just roll up the sides and make a flat-bottomed boat so it looks a little bit like a barge. You can make your boat look like whatever you want it to look like. The only thing that you need to have is you need to have some space in the middle of your boat that you can put things onto your boat. So I'm just going to take this flat-bottomed barge boat that I made, and I'm going to float it in the water. Let me lift that up. See, you can see my boat is in there floating in the water. And after everybody has made their boat, then you are just going to take a handful of the beans or the popcorn or whatever it is that you're using, and you're then going to start taking, since I'm using the beans, I'm going to take two at a time. And taking turns, you're going to put two of those beans on your boat, and you're going to say the name of an animal that might have gone onto the ark. So, 2 lions. I drop those on. And then I'm going to drop on 2 bears. And then 2 zebras. And then 2 elephants. 2 llamas. And I'm just going to keep doing that, adding the beans or the popcorn kernels or whatever, 2 at a time, and slowly I'm going to fill up my boat. And I'm going to see how it floats. So see, so far, my boat's doing pretty well. It's floating pretty nicely. And I'm just going to keep adding 2 at a time and saying the name of the animals. Now, you can do this fast or you can do it slow. For the demonstration today, I'm just going to do it pretty fast. So I'm going to just take a bunch of beans and put them on there. And I'm going to get a bunch more and put them on there. Oh boy, it's starting to fill up. I'm going to take a bunch more beans and put them in there. Now my boat's still floating, but it's getting a little bit lower in the water. Oh my goodness. Now it's starting to get lower in the water even more. So I'm going to put another handful on. Oh. Now, since I'm doing this by myself, I'm not really keeping track of how many beans I put on the boat. But if you want to make a game of it with the other people that you might be with, you can each make a boat, and then you can keep count of how many beans you put onto your boat. and you can see how long, or excuse me, how many beans your boat can float before it starts to sink. So I'm going to put some more on there. Huh, who would have known? This little barge boat's doing great. Uh-oh. One side's getting pretty low. I'll let you take a look. See there? Let's try to get some more in here. Oh, the one side's really low. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's still going great. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. That one edge, the water's right at the edge. Let's try a little bit more. My goodness. Oh, I've got water going in, and there goes my boat. It sank to the bottom. But I think I did a pretty good job as Noah building that boat. I was able to get a lot of those bean animals onto my boat. So, why don't you see what you can do? Keep track of how it's going. Keep track of how many beans you're able to put on your boat. And as you're talking about it with whoever's there with you, think about the challenge that Noah had. He had to build this boat that carried all these animals, and he really didn't have any sort of instructions. God told him how long and how wide and how tall the ark needed to be built and what it needed to be made from, but he didn't know what his boat should look like either. And he didn't know how many animals he was going to be able to put on the boat either. He had to do an experiment as well to think about what the boat should look like and to think about everything he needed to put into the ark. So, I hope you have fun with today's experiment. Maybe challenge a family member, a brother or a sister, maybe your parents, challenge them to a boat building contest and see which one of you would be the better Noah. All right. I hope you have fun. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.